NZXT Cam. Monitor your games while playing. To learn more about it, check out the description. Hey everyone, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is in fact time for Badgers picks for the week of June 7th. Let's see who's free this week and which 4 champions I'm going to recommend. Free this week, there's Aatrox, Caitlyn, Kalista, Karma, Talia, Malzahar, Nasus, Shyvana, Sona, and Warwick. And for my first champion recommendation, gonna give that one over to Caitlyn. Caitlyn is quite good right now. She's been good since the rework for the ADCs ever since the beginning of the new season. But what makes her so good, in my opinion, of just looking at her kit briefly, is her ability to harass and basically last hit completely safely in lane most of the time because of her awesome range. And then the other big thing that I love about her, and you may have saw yesterday in a short stream when I was playing her, her traps are so damn good now just in fights, and the ability to have so many of them can really make the zoning aspect of her kit amazing. And if you think about ADCs, not a lot of them really have any kind of potential to zone at all, or like their zone is very, it's nowhere near as rewarding or as good as Caitlyn's, really. Her traps are awesome, and I think people who place them down proactively in fights or are really paying attention, you can see this all the time in the LCS, they like double trap people because they'll get hit by a trap, let's say step on one or get displaced onto one, and then they put another trap down somewhere where they know their escape path is, because trap range placement is actually pretty far, so you can just double up and really start to nail people for it. And plus you get the headshot passive when they do step on one. Like, they're just so impactful. She's still really strong. We've been seeing quite a bit of play out of her, so if you don't own her, this would be a perfect week to try her out. My second recommendation for this week is going to actually go over to Karma. Karma's good right now, definitely strong. I know a lot of you know that Karma is strong. There's no real surprise there. One of the things that makes Karma really strong, though, is she has very good base damage numbers. And the other thing that's helpful with that is very low mana costs early on in the game. This makes her a very impactful champion when it comes to poking and trading, and that's why a lot of people find her incredibly annoying in bot lane as a support to be against, because she can jump forward, or not jump forward, but she can just be up forward and be throwing abilities at you over and over. She can also shield herself or her ally. And that's really helpful too, because then she can trade and effectively not lose any health. So she always wins out on these early trades, and that can lead to potential kills early on in the lane. So that makes her a very, very good support. That's one thing I think people need to utilize too. If you are playing her, make sure you are harassing enough. Don't get too overly aggressive where you're overextending and getting punished for it, but you can definitely poke at them pretty safely. And also make sure you land any kind of poke against them, because that's going to get your mantra cooldown up faster. So just a little tip there if you are going to be playing her this week, because she is free and you should definitely try her out. My third recommendation, that's going to Malzahar. Malzahar is still getting banned too much. Yes, at first, after his mage update, he did need to be banned, but they hot nerfed him not into the ground, but they hot nerfed him to where he probably should be. He's still pretty damn fun to play, honestly. His Voidlings do a lot of damage, and I think it's very, very important that you spawn them and you max that out. Well, yeah, almost first now, to be honest. It just does so much work. Those little guys deal tons of damage. He is really good. He is also less boring than he used to be. Granted, his kit's still somewhat one-dimensional because that's just kind of the way he is, but he's definitely a lot better. So if you haven't had a chance to play the reworked Malzahar, another fantastic week to try him out. And once again, if you're banning him, I don't really think he's worth a ban anymore. There's other champions that are worth bans over him at the moment. So he's still in a good spot. He's still strong. He just isn't really bannable. So now's the week you should play him. And as for my final champion recommendation, I'm going to give that one over to Shyvana. Shyvana is too strong right now. She's going to be top tier-ish, in my opinion, at the moment, at least just in normal games. She just has plenty of damage. She got that small buff that she honestly didn't really need. And other than that, she just synergizes quite well with the meta, being tanky, yet still having plenty of damage. She kind of is, I don't want to say replacing, because he was way too sticky and a little too fast. She's not quite as sticky, but she's still definitely fast. She kind of replaces Tank Echo a little bit if you think about it. She only really doesn't need any damage items, and she can still do plenty of damage. Or if you want to take her into the jungle and maybe get 1 or 2 damage items and then go straight tank, you're going to be able to tear people apart in team fights. She's very, very good at that. She farms very fast too, so she could actually get really significant gold leads and advantages because of this. So if you don't own her, I think she's quite good right now. You should definitely be trying her out this week. Those are the 10 champions that are free this week. Those are the 4 I'm recommending. Obviously, play any of the champions that you want to play while they're free. A lot of kind of classic and older champions in this rotation. I know Talia's in here, but not... I mean, a lot of these are old as Warwick, Sona, Nasus, Caitlyn, Karma, Malzahar. Those are all pretty old champions. Anyways, I'll go over the other champions that I didn't touch. Aatrox, I've seen some good ones lately, but I still just feel he's like a little bit underwhelming, to be honest, to me. So I'm just kind of avoiding him for the moment. We talked about Caitlyn. Kalista, she got nerfed a handful, and she's not bad by any means, but she's been nerfed down from where she was, and that just makes her feel a lot weaker. And so I haven't really been touching her much. Karma, we talked about her. Talia, I've seen good and bad with her. Can't really say that one, or give you like a definite answer. I think she can't be good in certain situations, but I think there's still a lot on her kit for people to mess up, and that's what I see mostly. We talked about Malzahar. Nasus is fine if you just want to sit top and farm and eventually hit something for a lot, but you got to make sure you show up to team fights to do that. We talked about Shyvana. Sona, actually pretty fun. Very significant poke too in lane. A little bit squishier though. And I think she can make a somewhat, or she's kind of making a mini comeback anyways, but she's decent. You give her a shot if you want. Warwick, pretty straightforward in the jungle. If you are new to jungling, he's a very, very safe pick. He has tons of sustain, but unfortunately his kit definitely needs a rework, and I believe it is on its way, so we can hope for that in the future. Go ahead and let me know which champions you'll be playing down below in the comments this week, as I always like to know what you guys will be playing, and I wish all of you the very best of luck this week on the Fields of Justice.